these videos like right when I press record. I just think about how a lot of YouTubers will just be like, "What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show." It's like, hey, if you have that energy, you know, if that's genuine, I guess more power to you. But in my case, I'll just say hello and welcome to the Curiosity Show behind the scenes channel. Even though this could technically be the Curiosity Show, because it's like each week, in every single day, I'll go over a different subject and we'll learn something. But yeah, I'll probably change the channel name at some point to something else. But as for now, it'll just be called the Curiosity Show behind the scenes. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about the steam engine, which was invented by this gentleman right here named James Watt. We can all thank him for hooking it up, for helping out the world. Because if it wasn't for him, someone else would have done it. But yes. Anyway. Okay, cool. A steam engine is a heat engine that performs mechanical work using steam as its working fluid. The steam engine uses the force produced by steam pressure to push a piston back and forth inside a cylinder. This pushing force is transformed by connecting a rod and a flywheel. Hold on, let's see what a rod is. By connecting rod and piston from a car engine, which still doesn't tell me what the rod is and what the piston is. Doesn't matter. And a flywheel. Holy crap. So connecting a rod and a flywheel. A flywheel is a mechanical device specifically designed to efficiently store rotational energy, which is proportional to the square of its rotational speed and its mass. Flywheels resist changes in rotational speed by their moment of inertia. And in order to change a flywheel stored energy, its rotational speed and its mass. Okay, very cool. So this pushing force is transformed by connecting a connecting rod and a flywheel into rotational force for work. The term steam engine is generally applied only to reciprocating engines as just described, not the steam turbine. And a reciprocating engine, also known as a piston engine, is typically a heat engine that uses one or more reciprocating pistons to convert pressure into a rotating motion. This article describes the common feature of all types. The main types are the internal combustion engine, the internal combustion. Okay, fuck it, whatever. Trying not to curse. Not easy. This pushing force is transformed by a connecting rod and a flywheel into rotational force for work. Okay, we already read this. The term steam engine is generally applied only to reciprocating engines as just described, not to the steam turbine. Okay. Steam engines are external combustion engines where the working fluid is separated from the combustion products. The ideal thermodynamic cycle used to analyze this process is called the Rankine Cycle. The Rankine Cycle is a model used to predict the performance of steam turbine systems. It was also used to study the performance of reciprocating steam engines. The Rankine Cycle is an idealized thermodynamic cycle of heat engine that converts heat into mechanical work while undergoing, and it's gone. Let me just look up undergoing. It might be on here. Oh, well, undergoing phase change. Okay, so let's read that again. Where were we? The Rankine Cycle. The Rankine Cycle is an idealized thermodynamic cycle of heat engine that converts heat into mechanical work while undergoing In general usage, the term steam engine can refer to either complete steam plants, including boilers. Okay. Or a boiler is a closed vessel in which fluid is heated. The fluid does not necessarily boil. The heat or vaporized fluid exits the boiler for use in various processes or heating applications, including water heating, central heating, boiler-based power generation, cooking, and sanitation. Such as, okay, so we're here. In general usage, the term steam engine can refer to either complete steam plants, such as a railway steam locomotive and portable engines, or may refer to the piston or turbine machinery alone, as in the beam engine and stationary steam engine. Okay, so a model of a beam engine featuring James Watt's parallel linkage for double action. Yeah, that makes so much sense to me. Definitely not. I'm just joking, by the way. And that doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of hard to see without like an animation. You know, these are just words, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, let's just go here. Steam-driven devices were known as early as the Elopile. An Elopile, also known as Hero's engine, is a simple bladeless radial steam turbine which spins when the central water container is heated. Torque is produced by steam jets exiting the turbine, which much like a tip jet or a rocket engine. Okay. Steam-driven devices were known as early as the Alopile in the 1st century AD, with a few other uses recorded in the 16th and 17th century. Thomas Savery's dewatering pump used steam pressure operating directly on the water. The first commercially successful engine that could transmit continuous power to a machine was developed in 1712 by Thomas Newcomen. James Watt made a critical improvement by removing spent steam to a separate vessel for condensation, greatly improving the amount of work obtained per unit of fuel consumed. By the 19th century, stationary steam engines powered the factories of the Industrial Revolution. Steam engines replaced sail for ships, and steam locomotives operated on the railways. Reciprocating piston type engines were the dominant source of power until the early 20th century, when advances in the design of electric motors and internal combustion engines gradually resulted in the replacement of reciprocating piston steam engines in commercial use. Steam turbines replaced reciprocating engines in power generation due to lower cost, higher operating speed, and higher efficiency. So we're gonna look up the reciprocating piston steam engines. Before pistons. Okay, so let's just check this out. Okay, before we get copy striked or whatever it's called, let's look at this. Okay, dang, this is so. I wish it could show me like this thing cut in half, because I would be curious what it looked like. What does reciprocating mean? Let's check this guy out. I've played this game before, Besiege. And I'm sure I would have been able to be better at the game if I actually had an understanding of fundamental engineering. Okay, so the steam. What? Dang, this guy really made a. Dang, that's crazy. Let's just go to early experiments. The first recorded rudimentary steam-powered engine was the Alopile, described by the hero of Alexandria, a mathematician and engineer in Roman Egypt in the 1st century AD. Wow. In the following centuries, the few steam-powered engines known were like the Alopile, essentially experimental devices used by inventors to demonstrate the properties of steam. A rudimentary steam turbine device was described by Taqi al-Din in Ottoman Egypt in 1551 and by Giovanni Branca in Italy in 1629. And I don't even need to pronounce that. Okay. Geronimo de Ayans y Beaumont received patents in 1606. Dang. For 50 steam-powered inventions, including a water pump for draining inundated mines. Definitely don't know what inundated means, so let's check it out. Inundated, to cover with water. Okay. So when the tsunami came and hit Japan, Japan for a brief period of time in certain areas was inundated. I believe that would be the correct usage of the word. Received patents of 1606 for 50 steam-powered engines, including a water pump for draining inundated mines. Interesting. They were able to come up. Holy shit! In 1606, they had a steam-powered invention that allowed them to pump out water from inundated mines. That is insane. Dennis Papin and Huguenots were a religious group of French Protestants. Interesting. Did some useful work on the steam digester. The steam digester is a high pressure cooker invented by French physicist Dennis Papin in 1679. It is a device for extracting fats from bones in a high pressure steam environment, which also renders them brittle enough to be easily into bone. Which also renders them brittle enough to be easily ground into bone meal. It is the forerunner of the auto. Blah 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 blah. In 1679, and first used a piston to raise weights in 1690. Okay. I want to look up like the first steam engine. You know what I'm saying? History of the steam engine. Okay, so it was the Alapile. I want to know how this works, because this looks like this was the first one. I need to see a video of this, because it looks familiar. A modern replica of Hero's Alapile. How does an Alapile work? Alapile? I didn't even spell that right, but you know, whatever. How does an Alapile work? How does... Let me see a video. Please don't take me down, YouTube. Oh, there are no results. My ass. Okay, let's check it out. Building a Hero's engine Alapile. Whoa. Shane stuff from watching your life over. Material and equipment. Listen, dog. Does it work though? I'm trying to figure out how it works. Good sir. Alapile. Because I mean, this makes sense. You have the water in the bowl right here. I don't know what these two things are. Let's check this out. Let's search the internet for it. Let's go to videos. Don't you dare tell me there's nothing. That's a lie. That is a lie. YouTube, here we come. Oh, build Alapile Hero steam engine running. Yes, thank you. My goodness. I wonder if it's moving so fast that... Okay, so there's water in there. We have it closed. And how are we... Now, what can you do with this? That is very cool. The allopile. Alright, well, I guess this video is going to be about the allopile. Who invented it? Look at this. Dang, this dude's got it all tricked out. I feel like this thing's going to go crazy. Let's see. Dang. Okay, let's check out what these things were used for. What was the used for? Allopile steam turbine engine. Okay, yeah, because I would love to know the timeline of this. Because okay, they invented it, but what was it used for? Okay, no. Allopile steam engine turbine invented in the century AD by Huron of Alexandria and described in his Pneumatica. The allopile was a hollow sphere mounted so that it could turn on a pair of hollow tubes that provided steam to a sphere from a cauldron. The steam escaped from the sphere from one or more bent tubes projecting from its equator, causing the sphere to revolve. The allopile is the first known device to transform steam into rotary motion. Like many other machines of the time that demonstrated basic mechanical principles, it was simply regarded as a curiosity or a toy. It was not used for any practical purposes. Well, I mean, I want to look up the history of the steam engine. I want to know how a steam engine works. Let's just do that. How does a steam engine work? Is it that much to ask for? How steam engines work. Yes, give me some 3D animations. I need some pictures, dog. Yes, I know what a steam engine is. I want to know how it works. Okay, let's try and figure this out. The following diagram shows the, hold on. You guys see that? Yeah, okay, we can all see that. Okay. The following diagram shows the major components of a piston steam engine. This sort of engine would be typical in a steam locomotive. The engine shown is a double-acting steam engine because the valve allows high-pressure steam to act alternately on both faces of the piston. The following animation shows the engine in action. Okay, dog, where is it? Next. Okay. So, smokestack, hot gases. How steam engines work. Fire tube boiler. What is a fire tube boiler? Was more common in the 1800s. It consists of a tank of water perforated. Let's just check out what that means real quick. Perforation is a small hole in a thin material or web. There's usually more than one perforation in an organized fashion where all of the holes are called a perforation. The process of creating perforations is called perforating, which involves puncturing the workpiece with a tool. Okay, a fire tube boiler was common in the 1800s. It consists of a tank of water perforated with pipes. The hot gases from a coal or wood fire run through the pipes to heat the water tank as shown here. Okay, water goes in, smokestack, steam out, hot gases. Okay, makes sense to me. Now I want to know how a goddamn steam engine works. Trying to find that video. How does a steam engine work? Is it too much to ask? I want to know how a steam engine works. What do you mean the following animation shows how the action works, bro? What animation? Okay. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. How does a steam engine work? Steam engine, how does it work? I just don't want to get copyrighted. I need someone that's not going to copyright me. I need like one of these lower channels. Okay. Dang, these all have so many views. Work with me, folks. Work with me. Hold on here. We have one candidate. How Steam engines work. Okay, this will work. Dang, it has 1 point. Fuck. No, I can't get copyrighted. Or rather, I don't want to get copyrighted. I need to get in the habit of trying not to get copyrighted. Does this even work? Okay, let's see this guy explain.
The pressure of the expanding steam is used to push a piston to and fro in a hollow tube called a cylinder. The piston fits tightly inside the cylinder. The piston is attached to the piston rod. As the piston rod goes in and out, it drives another rod called the driving rod.
This is what we need to see. We need to see this in slow fucking motion.
Called the driving rod. The drive.
Dude, I don't know. That's the curiosity show. All right. Do we need to just watch this? Okay, we're going to watch this video and then we're going to be done. We're going to watch this video and then we will be done. Shout out to this lady. Please don't copyright me.
Inside a steam engine, steam is produced by boiling water.
Right.
Pressure of the expanding steam is used to push a piston to and fro in a hollow tube called a cylinder.
Right.
The piston.
Hold on, let me hear this part.
In a hollow tube called a cylinder. The piston fits tightly inside the cylinder.
Yes.
The piston is attached to the piston rod.
Yes.
As the piston rod goes in and out, it drives another rod called the driving rod. The driving rod turns a wheel called the flywheel, which turns steadily even when the piston is at the end of its stroke and is not pushing.
Okay. Good enough. Good enough for me. Still don't really get it, but it's fine. We know a little bit. We know more about the steam engine. You know more about the steam engine than you did before watching this video. Fuck. Because like, if you really want to know how the steam engine worked, you could have just gone to YouTube. But fuck, whatever. It is what it is. This is a curiosity show. Trying to, as I said, you know more about the steam engine than you did before watching this video. If you didn't know anything about the steam engine, so there you go. There's your invention of the week, the steam engine. Goodbye.